talk. I don't want to say shocked, but I saw yesterday that they said that they're not going to have a presence at Comic-Con this year, which I thought if either one was going to do it, I thought Marvel wouldn't do it because of D23. I thought that they would pull their stuff out, but DC's not doing it, which is interesting because they usually, for the last at least 4 or 5 years, I think that they've owned Hall H. Maybe there's 1 year where I think Marvel had the better one, but DC's been putting on some pretty good shows in Hall H.
Do you think it's because they spend so much money at Comic-Con and they feel like they don't need to do the marketing for these movies anymore, or what do you think is the reason?
I think it's happening with a lot of studios.
Because it is crazy to have people, your people in your studio at Comic-Con.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of marketing. How do you test the data?
Yeah.
How do you test it that it's working? It's like I think that Comic-Con is very different today than it was obviously even in 2004, 2005, and that's when it started picking it up with the industry. Like the industry is when it kind of got its claws into Comic-Con. It was 2004, 2005.
Right. Yeah.
So it's more about business deals and all those kind of things. Yeah.
This feels very similar to what happened with E3 for a decade, where it was originally supposed to be a public event that people could go to, and then they cut it off to be press only, and a lot of people being pretty pissed off about it. That's the big thing I've seen on Twitter is people are upset. They're like, half the reason I go is for Hall H. So that kind of sucks.
There's only one positive to it.
I wonder.
Because they usually have it on Saturday, in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Well, now people can come to the Schmodown on July 20th.
I was waiting for it. I was like, there it is.
Because I actually got a lot of messages. People I'm waiting to see what the Comic-Con schedule is before I get the tickets. So it's
you picked a good night, man. It's always about Saturday night.
Saturday night, July 20th is going to be a good one. It's the SchmodownLive.com if you want to see Rachel Cushing defend against either Kalinowski or Smets, which we'll find out who wins that on June 22nd.
Nice.
So, but yeah, it's the fact that they're not going to be there, and then you would assume, because actually, you know what? I take that back, because normally DC and Warner Brothers is in the morning, and Warner Brothers will probably still be in the morning with it, right?
Right.
And then Marvel will probably be at 4. So,
do you think Marvel's going to actually go, or are they going to pull? Is this
I thought they weren't either, though.
Is this a bigger sign here that Hall H is becoming? I don't know. I can't. I'll start looking it up, but I wanted to say, is this a bigger sign that I think about when Suicide Squad, that trailer leaked, and people were pissed. The filmmakers were pissed. Warner Brothers was, and there was cracking down on it. It's like those leaks happen all the time now. Are they wanting to pull out because of that, or is it because of somebody brought it up here? Or it's like they don't need to market anymore, but they have Joker, they have Birds of Prey, and they have Wonder Woman 1984 that left on the table.
Yeah.
I would love to. I loved that Hall H presentation that I was in a few years back that showed us the first look at Justice League and brought everybody up. I was hyped. That was so much fun. Right. And everything, the windows open and you have the full surround. That was why I'm a geek. I'm sitting in there going, yeah, and then.
And I mean, how many? I feel like you guys are the journalists, not me. I mean, I'm a little bit. But when they always have a journalist or press travel to a city for a specific movie, right? They had all my friends went to the Aquaman set, things like that. Do you think that they're focusing more on that type of stuff?
I think because with that's more beneficial to them because you get coverage off of it. I mean, because the coverage that comes from Comic-Con. It's you get a lot of coverage from Comic-Con also, but I think that it's specific to where there's things that you want people to cover. So if you bring you out to the set and so when I went to the Ant-Man thing, Ant-Man, Paul Rudd kind of came out, but we couldn't release our reports until 4 months later because it's part of the marketing strategy, right before. But please put your piece out around this time, and then that comes out right as they're putting all their marketing materials out. So it's part of their marketing budget, as where it's such a crapshoot with Comic-Con.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting because like you're saying, Mark, as a fan, that sucks if you wanna. That's your one opportunity to see these people and be with the fans enjoying a trailer for the first time.
Brings you together.
Right.
Really does.
It feels almost like they're just not ready. More so than anything, I feel like they've backed themselves into a wall. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they just saw how gangbusters Endgame was and saw how much of a flop a lot of people are calling Game of Thrones, that they're like, let's not put something half-assed out there and have people be hyped, and we're just not good to go.
Well, what do they have? They have the Joker, where they could show.
And that would be the one, but you can't. I feel like you can't rest your laurels on one movie.
That's true. When did they start shooting the Suicide Squad?
Have they?
I think they
when.
start.
When do they start?
I don't
Because
know.
if they start, because
end of this year.
Well, okay, the end of this year. Because I was going to say, if they started in like May, June, right? If they had already started, then it was James Gunn who, after shooting for 2 weeks, had put together a pretty extensive package for Guardians the first time ever, and it was like a full-on trailer, like a legit. So there's ways to do it if you want to get people hyped, but I don't think you're wrong in the fact that you want to make sure that you have everything. You don't want to half-ass it. You want they're in a good spot right now. They're putting out good movies. They've had some good. They've had some good casting choices, and they're in a lot better spot than they were like 2-3 years ago. So why ruin it if you don't need to?
Right. That's my biggest feeling, and I think that's why they decided to make that announcement while releasing the Wonder Woman poster, to be like, no, see, we got stuff. We just, here you go. This is enough, right? This all you need? No. We go.
I guess Wonder Woman, they could show a trailer too, right?
They could have,
They did last year.
They showed a little teaser, Well, it was more. It wasn't even really a trailer, right? It was a scene from the mall.
But we're a year away, so maybe it's just too soon.
Wonder Woman 1984 is really. They've moved it, but that thing is in the can.
Yeah, is it?
But the other thing
when is it? They've shot it.
They shot enough for a trailer,
and enough for post production.
But here's the weird part to me about that. Now that I think about it, is that that drops June of next year, right?
Yeah.
So that means that Wonder Woman 84 will never have a Comic-Con appearance, which I think is also kind of weird.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, because it's not like I said, when it comes to Marvel, you go, well, they're probably going to show their stuff at D23 if not there. Like, where does you know what I love for is there something?
Marvel is according to this report.
About DC. Marvel is going.
Marvel is going, and maybe Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what at least this report is saying.
When is D23? I would assume that they would put
Rise
those.
Maybe they're doing both.
Is what I want it to be called.
Well, they've done that before, but I think that's because they're so close to one another. Because D23 is in Anaheim, that you want to make it a little. Like, do you want to buy tickets to D23 if you know that they're going to play everything at Comic-Con? You know what I mean? It's like you can pick and choose, or instead of going to both.
Well,
D23, I feel like it's mostly Disney fans though that go, right? Like how many Star Wars fans and Marvel fans go? Like how much? What's the presence of Lucasfilm stuff and
the last one
Marvel
was pretty
stuff?
significant,
Was it?
yeah,
Okay.
and it was pretty big, and they showed a lot of Marvel stuff for sure. And I remember when we saw it, I can't remember which one it was, but it was definitely something along the line. It might have been Avengers, or Civil War, maybe it was. I don't remember one of those, but
I remember
they went nuts.
Infinity War being shown at Comic-Con. I wasn't there, and all I kept hearing was Thanos threw a moon at Tony Stark or whatever it was, and I'm like, I want to see that footage. And then so I missed it at Comic-Con, and then I heard they played it again at D23.
Right.
So
they replay it.
So it's August of this year.
D23 is
D23. So Marvel might be doing both.
Yeah.
Again, because now there's precedent that they did it before. Why not assume they're going to do it again?
Speaking of